Hey everyone, it's Rob Folia and Jessica Klein with Folia Properties here at Keller Williams in Nashville. And we're coming to you live today to talk about why keeping a pulse on your home equity, like the amount of money that you have in equity in your home, why that matters. And so we're going to use a real live example of a recent client
Mhm.
of ours and dive into that. And you ready to get started, Jessica?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, awesome. And so what y'all are seeing on the screen here is a recent listing of ours. It's a home that we sold here, probably back in September, if I'm remembering correctly,
Yep,
in
yep.
kind of a Donaldson, Hermitage area on Fitzpatrick Road. Great starter home, 3 beds, 1.5 baths, and just so you can see the pictures and see what we're working with. Cute home. The interesting thing though is that this client of ours, she bought the home a little more than a year ago. I believe it was June or July of last year, and it wasn't her forever home. Like she knew that when she bought it, it wasn't going to be her forever home, and that she was going to want something else, something newer. And she's actually been, I hope anyway, been keeping tab of our videos and seeing some of our market advice that we've been sharing. And so she reached out to us because she knew it was time to move into something new. And so before I look at the actual numbers, anything else that I'm missing of the backstory that we should share, Jessica?
No, I mean, I think that the key you said there is that she was paying attention. Just because you buy your house and it's only been a year, it's so important to pay attention to your situation and what you still want and your long-term goals. And she kept in contact throughout that whole period, and so yeah, I mean, I think she's in a great place now, and we can talk about why.
Exactly. Well, yeah. Then let's jump right into it. And so we've got the tax records pulled up for it. So public information. Our client Myra, she had bought the home last year for $220,000, and in this just what 14 months later, she closed on the property for $252,000. So you can see more than a 10% gain in equity in that 15, 16 months. And the reason why I'm wanting to share this and we're wanting to share this with y'all is simple, is that the way, because the market has appreciated so much here in Nashville and all of Middle Tennessee, really. I think one of the narratives that people think is that, oh well, that house over there has gotten so expensive, I can't afford it now. I guess I'm just stuck with my house that I'm outgrowing or that I don't want. Like, is that fair to say, Jessica?
Yeah, I think that's true. And I think we kind of get stuck in our heads like, well, I can only afford a certain thing because my job hasn't changed or because, my credit's the same or whatever it is. And that's not always the case. There are a lot of other factors, including your home equity, that play a big part in what you can and can't afford.
Exactly. And since Myra was responsible and she had a good down payment when she bought her home originally, she's able to go through, sell the property, and have a great down payment for her next home because rates are so low. It allowed it to be an affordable process for her. And again, we just wanted to share this story with y'all because ultimately, I think there are a lot of people who are either checking out this video or on, just in our phones, in our contact list, that are Facebook friends with, all the above. That you might be in a home that you're like, yeah, it's nice. It's like, this is a great home, a very cute home that
Oh,
she had.
yeah.
Nice home, but at the same time, it wasn't right for her. And it might not, your current home might not be right for you. And we're not telling you, hey, you've got to sell your home tomorrow or anything like that. And yet, what we are seeing in our current market is we're seeing basically optimal conditions to sell a home. Isn't that fair to say?
Yeah, and I think on top of that, if you're in a good financial position, which if you're selling a home the right way, you very well could be, you can find a home to buy. And we've been helping people do it all year, including this month and last month and for many months to come. So, we promise we won't leave you homeless if you really do, if you're in a place where you'd like to move on to a different home.
Exactly. And so let's dive in and show kind of why this is an opportune time to sell. Like, I hope it's coming across with urgency and not with being over dramatic or anything. That literally this might be the best time we've ever seen and will ever see to sell a home here in Middle Tennessee. And a couple of things. What we've got pulled up here are just some residential property statistics. So this is Davidson County, so Nashville's county. $400,000 and below. Pick that number as kind of a slightly above average price in our area, but pretty close to average and below. So you can know what we're working with. And as you can see, there's 450 total active listings across the board for single family homes. And you might not have any idea what that looks like in terms of Like, what does that actually mean? Does it sound like a lot? Does it sound like a little? Let me just scroll down here. So these are closed homes in the last 3 months. Over 1,700 homes, 1,741 homes sold in the last 3 months that fit that same parameter. Based on these numbers, I mean, these homes are going to be sold out in the next 30 days, basically. Is what
Yeah,
they're
I mean, even if you look at what's under contract right now, I mean, there's more under contract than there is on the market. And I
Yeah,
think that's
exactly.
that's telling.
Oh, 100% it's telling. I mean, it's just, again, it's such a low inventory market that we might use that phrase a lot on these videos or when we're communicating with you. And at the same time, this is why. This is why we consider it a low inventory market. And again, think about real estate from supply and demand. People, prices and of anything, real estate, anything. The more supply there is, that's going to hurt pricing. It's going to make pricing go lower. The less supply there is, that's going to help pricing. Is it's just there's less for more people buying, so
Right.
that's going to make prices rise. And so, just to kind of cement some thoughts on this, both of these under contract sections that you're seeing here, so the under contract showing and not showing, really just want to point out these two columns. I'll shake my mouse so you can see where I'm at. The DOM, days on market. So what that means is how long has it taken this house to, when it's listed, to go under contract. So meaning, not the day that they've signed paperwork, or not the day that, contract closed or anything like that, but literally the day they started showing compared to when they accepted an offer on a home. And you can see the median time. And I like to use median because it starts to, averages. There may be some, like, look, there was one that took 2 years,
Yeah, yeah,
probably some crazy property,
yeah, a pricing issue or a strange
yeah,
property. Yeah.
exactly. So median is going to be the best judge in there because it's taking out the pre-sales, it's taking out some of these weird ones like the 612 right here that you're seeing. The median time is, take your pick, 6 or 3. Either way, it's less than a week is what we're saying. Both of these are showing less than a week as the median time is taking a home to go under contract. That's a product of the low supply and the high demand that we're seeing in our area. The other thing that I wanted to share with you is of these closed listings, so these homes that sold in the last 3 months, take a look at the average sales price. I mean, we could take median too if you want, but I prefer average when we're talking about sales price to list price. And what we're seeing here, the average is 99.26%. So on average, and just in the market in general, we're seeing close to 100% of asking price.
Hmm.
So not only are
Which
homes
is
selling
not the
quick.
standard.
Yeah,
Not at
exactly.
all.
This is
Yeah.
not the norm. This is not what we typically see. Average year balanced market. This number is closer to 97%. Average year balanced market. This number is closer to like 3 to 4 weeks instead of 3 to 4 days.
Hmm.
And so, even though there are some challenges with COVID and everything else that's going on, like, we're going to be able to make the process simple for you if this is something that is clicking. Um,
Also, not only simple, we have this, for months and months now, we've been doing this contactless for anyone who's interested in that. And it sells a house just as well, I promise.
Exactly, because when we say contactless, basically you don't have to be face to face with anybody. Like, we have the ability to go through and record 3D walkthroughs of property. I mean, people still are going to want to see your home, but you shouldn't be there for showings anyway. So you won't be interacting with any buyers if you're worried about for health reasons and you don't want to interact face to face with us, belly to belly, face to face. We can be face to face through a computer screen and keep everybody safe. And so there are ways that we can make that happen. But again, these conditions they show how it's optimal. It's an optimal time to sell. And if you're really interested in getting out of that home that's too small, or if you're in a situation like Myra where you bought a home maybe a year or two ago and you're like, yeah, it's a decent home for me, but in the end, I don't want to be here forever. Like, now is the time to take action on it, because just like Jessica said, when we're able to go through and follow the process and do things the way that we're doing, just like Myra here, getting her into her new home, we're able to align the pieces, the dominoes, so to speak, to where we knock over one and they all fall over the right way for you.
Absolutely.
So, Jessica, what did I miss, and what, if any, are there any questions on the Facebook Live feed that we have?
There are no questions. And as always, if you're watching this after we go live, go ahead and add your questions, and we'll absolutely, respond to them as you submit them. The only thing I would say is just to emphasize, make sure that you're checking in and seeing what your home is worth now and what the market's doing right now, because every little neighborhood has its own thing. Every house has its own, challenges and benefits. And it's just important to always keep in contact with us or whoever your preferred real estate partner is, to make sure that you're in touch with that, and then you can make the best decisions at the right time for you.
Absolutely. I'm glad you brought that back up, Jessica, because yeah, this whole video, it's not just about market dynamics. It's about keeping that pulse on your equity. And we offer a complimentary review of your real
Mhm.
estate portfolio. So if you're an investor and you have rental properties, we can give you a review of that. If you own one home and you want an idea of what this looks like, we can give you a review of that as well.
Yep.
And that's what happened with Myra here. She had reached out and wanted to know what her home was worth in today's market, and we were able to, the numbers worked, they made sense for her, and so it worked out great is what we're saying. And this is not an abnormal case is what I'm saying. Like when we see this type of appreciation from 1 year to the next, in our recent market, if in a balanced market, 10, 11, 12%, that's a little extreme. It's a good thing for us, so take advantage of it is what we're saying. Like take advantage of it as a homeowner if you're in that same spot as Myra was with this home, or as a lot of clients of ours have been, where you just that home that you're in just doesn't work long term. Let's get you into something that will work long term.
Yep, 100%.
Awesome, y'all. Well, if y'all have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. You can, as Jessica said, you can comment on this video wherever you're seeing it. You can also, if you're seeing this from our emails, you can reply to our email if you have a question. You can also reach out directly at info@foliaproperties.com, 615-591-5665. We're here to help and provide info and really just be a resource for you and help you any way that we can. And yet we know if you do want to make that local move, now's the time to make it happen.
Thanks,
So,
everybody.
awesome. Thanks, y'all. Bye.
Bye.